Hello, everyone, and welcome to Podcast of Five Rings monthly modules, the first in what we hope to be a long series of these things. And today we are playing Legend of the Five Rings 4th edition for you. The first module we're going to be doing is called The Lesser of Two Evils. It is written by Jim Pinto. Say hey to everyone.
Hey to everyone.
I knew that was going to happen.
I don't know why you asked us to do this.
Hello, everyone. Should have known better.
What's up?
I think you did it on
Yeah,
purpose.
honestly, you have nobody to blame but yourself for this.
Oh, come on. We're all playing line here today, aren't we? So, I'm just being upfront and completely respectful of all of you.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It will be totally reciprocated, or how do you say that word?
Reciprocated.
Yeah, that word. The one that I apparently just went idiot on. It's okay, I'm already in character.
We're going today. We're going to show you all how the most honorable clan in Rokugan operates. So,
I thought
and
we were playing live.
we are. And on that note, Tets, would you like to introduce your character to the audience?
Absolutely. I'm playing Matsui Eiji, who is on the path of becoming a fully fledged Soden Senzo. You heard that right, Soden Senzo. A Kitsu family, because his father was Kitsu by birth. He passed along the Kitsu heritage, mingled with what little was in his mother's blood, and so he has the full-fledged Kitsu bloodline expressing itself. Fiery red hair, piercing golden eyes. There was a little bit of a hiccup, so to say, in the genetic inheritance. However, to take the evil eye disadvantage, his eyes are slit like cats. So there's that weird wonkiness. Like if you really look into his eyes when you're talking to him, it's like kind of sets you off a little bit. But because of that, he wants to make up for it. So he's very much bound by the code of honor. He is idealistic, Bushido all the way. And has doubled down on his studies in the magic arts. His Gembuku, he actually attracted one of his ancestors, Matsu Terano, who's kind of given him a bit of a hard time. I mean, he's a Matsu. He should adhere to Matsu ideals, but he kind of acts a little bit more like a Kitsu. So you can imagine how this has given him some problems. Furthermore, despite his bit of a, shall we say, hesitation when it comes to interacting with the spirits from another realm. Not so much the revered ancestors. They're not ghosts. They're the revered ancestors, but the randomly existing spirits, ghosts, so-and-so comes to him, those are terrifying because they're beyond the veil. Who's to say how they will react? So despite his position to become a Soden Senzo, he's not exactly in the best mentality for it. So we'll see how this goes for him. Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to go well considering the other PCs. So, Meta, why don't you introduce your character?
I would love to. So I will be playing Akoto Inahime today. She is a woman of pretty easy nature and undiluted laziness. She lives by the creed, make sure you have to do work before you actually work, and will be willingly pass on that buck to anybody else. The only thing that actually tops her indolent nature is her knack for plucking up things that she doesn't own. And she's kind of a greedy woman, so that's the real problem there. She's never been left wanting for coin or belongings, but she takes a shine to anything she can get her hands on, and if that just so happens to benefit herself and potentially the others around her, then that's just another reason why she should be allowed to do it. As a fate were conspiring with her, though, oddly enough, she seems to always know where she's going, so she has no problem getting away with people if she ever does get seen, and if she's not so lucky, she's pretty resilient too. That said, of course, she's not without her greater flaw, which is a strong paranoia. Those kind of eerie sounds, things moving in the shadow, creaking floorboards and whatnot has plagued her, and she believes ghosts are the cause for it. Which isn't actually true, because she doesn't really know that there's a love-struck secret stalker of hers that has been causing these strange events around her, and they're going to continue to keep at it until they finally have a chance to marry her. But yeah, greedy.
That's such a great, romantic gesture. I want to marry you. Here, I'm pretending to be a ghost.
Well, he's got to kill all of her potential other suitors, which, I mean, how many is she going to have if she keeps stealing things from them?
Mm-hmm.
Like their hearts.
All right, what are you playing today, Mal?
I am playing Akoto Kizuki, and he does not want for glory or honor or any of that, unfortunately. He's always just preferred to be out in nature. And although, as much as he loves nature, the animals in said nature don't quite like him. He was scarred in his... he has facial scars left from an incident in his childhood when he came across a bear, and the bear disagreed with his existence.
That's my favorite detail.
Just disagreed with him being there.
Right. There's nothing he would rather do, or there's nothing he would prefer in his life than just end up in some tiny town under some governor doing nothing far away from anything important. And he was all too happy to train as a scout and get away from doing the actual battles and spend more time out in the wilds.
What Nakoto? There you are.
Paragon.
You're both
We
so
are
great.
lying. Rawr.
All right.
Lion.
I'm going to have an NPC who won't be interacting very much with the module, obviously, since I know what's going on, but the group's going to need some more muscle for this, so here we go. And as a side note, this character was completely made randomly. Random disadvantages,
great.
random skills.
Awesome.
I'm trying random school, and I'm trying to piece this together somehow. So go ahead.
When
Mal.
you rolled the lion on the random clan, it was just meant to be.
Yep, it was meant to be.
It was perfect.
So I will be piloting not only the various NPCs throughout this module, but also Matsu Naotoko. Naotoko is very Matsu. She's not one for flowery dialogues nor long, drawn-out conversations. She keeps mostly to herself in larger courtly situations, and is very plain-looking. It does not pull much attention to herself. The only thing that does stand out about her is how tall she is, especially for a woman at 5'9". What conversation she does receive is usually blunt and ends shortly, and she often awkwardly uses her height to loom over her conversational partners, sometimes in a unintentionally intimidating manner. She's not much one for philosophy or religion, and she often has disagreements with monks if they try to speak with her about these kind of things. The only two people she feels like she can open up to are her pair of brother and sister war cats named Yuzuru and Riko. And they've been together since she started her training for her Genpaku ceremony, and she has a closer bond with them than anyone else, even members of her immediate family. But at the behest of her mother, who's trying to help find her a suitor, she's begun taking lessons in storytelling, and everyone around her has found she kind of has a knack for it whenever she does. However, unbeknownst to the other lion, her favorite stories are the ones that she finds in pillow books, and she plans on using the lessons, in quotes, in them to attract a potential husband.
This is going to be the best party ever.
She
We
fights.
are lying. Rawr.
She is a Matsu Beastmaster who fights with a Kusarigama, because I rolled that skill.
Hell yes.
So,
This is amazing.
Such lion, much rawr.
as a kind of statement to where the setting is, we are starting pre-Scorpion Clan coup.
Got it.
This is the AG version, so all the old lore is what we're going off of.
As opposed to all the vast new stuff we could have drawn from.
This
It's
giant
very
library
deep now.
stuff.
So what I'm hearing is we have Hotori and not Hotaru.
He won't be making an appearance anyway, so. Nonetheless, the journey begins. So our ragtag group of lion are all called. Are all called
Lion Legion.
Yeah, they're all called by their various immediate daimyo. to travel to Crablands, a remote castle in Crablands.
What can we do to send these guys away?
That sounds about right.
The castle's named Kyuden Toketsu. It's in the northwestern portion of the lands of Hida. It takes all the characters kind of meet up before they leave Linelands, travel through the Spine of the World Mountains. It takes a few weeks to get down there. Obviously, we established before the game that everyone has served together in a unit fighting the Crane at Toshirambo under the orders of Matsu Suko, the Matsu family daimyo. So now, the various daimyo, finding out that all these characters have worked together, send them off to Crablands in return for a favor from this Yasuki governor that we will be visiting. And he has a problem of sorts, but we'll get to that later. So, is there anything anyone wants to do while on the road?
If there's anything to take up and pocket, I'll take it.
I mean, there's plenty of stuff in small little towns as you travel down to the south. Nothing like super valuable, mostly probably knickknacks from peasants. Maybe a few Ronin have like purses with a few like Bu or Zenny in them, but nothing overly valuable.
Excellent.
So you rob some Ronin and some peasants. Huh?
Rob some Ronin and peasants.
What's your honor at?
3.5.
Lose 2 boxes.
Got it.
How quickly can you crater?
All right.
Inahime's making quite the name for herself already.
I'm just going to assume I was looking the other way because
My, what fine rustic architecture.
Look that way. So as you guys get into Crablands, you get closer and closer to the castle. Probably about a day's ride away from it, you feel an earthquake come upon the ground. No one has to make a roll or anything to stay on their feet. It's just something you notice. But I would like a investigation perception roll.
You got it, boss.
All right.
that's
By the way, we are using roll 20
oops, I totally did not put what type of dice I was rolling. There we go.
in case anyone is curious.
Yeah, we're going to be using roll 20. I do not believe we're actually recording the chat box, correct?
We are not.
Okay.
So call out your rolls.
Do we get a...
Yeah, we'll let you guys know.
Sorry, I was going to ask, do we get notice emphasis on that?
Sure.
Awesome.
Or listening if you have it.
Well,
Right,
he got it. Good.
I was going to just say Inihime got 28.
Okay.
26.
And a 26, apparently.
All right, I won't even roll for Naotoko because you guys will probably point this out. You hear and see kind of rumbling in woods a few feet away, and when you narrow your eyes and focus on what's over there, you can see animals stampeding away from the direction that you're all traveling in.
Good sign.
That's odd.
You guys see that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I
you see-
definitely saw that.
You see Naotoko's 2 cats who are generally have their eyes on Kisaki with a look of wariness, but they don't ever do anything. Perhaps you think it's because she's there, keeping them from doing something. They don't seem very bothered, but it's the wild animals. It's mostly fawn and large deer that you see roaming through the woods away from where you're heading.
Is there any sort of way we could know more?
Yeah, you could. What do you want to do exactly?
I can roll or nature or hunting.
Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead.
No.
Or nature intelligence, or you can roll hunting perception.
Hunting is better. Let's see. Ooh. Type. 24.
Okay, so you guys see Kizaki kind of walk off towards the woods after the stampede and the earthquake kind of calms down. And what you find over there, Kodo-san, is no fresh prints. The only prints are from the stampede. There's no other signs. You look for maybe like 10 minutes or so. You don't see any signs like droppings or munched on greenery that tells you that the deer live here. They apparently come from somewhere else, so they've been running for a while, is what you surmise. They're not local to these woods.
I will head back and tell everyone.
So they're not from this woods, and they just ran through here.
They've been running for a while, apparently.
Well, isn't that the direction we're going?
No,
they ran from?
Yeah, they are running away from where you are heading. So they're running towards where you came from, basically.
Well, that doesn't bode well for where we go. Maybe we should turn around. Maybe we should just, check it out. I don't know. I don't think we should just go forward just yet. Maybe we should just, investigate a little bit.
Now Toko kind of smirks a little bit and looks at Inahime and she says, "What, are you afraid of some bad omens, Kodo-san?"
I have never been one to ever go against fortune and their ability to immediately throw us into the mud.
I mean, like, Inahime has a point. I mean, we are in Crablands. There's some weird stuff that goes on in Crablands.
See, Eiji gets it.
But we have the Honorable Crab to protect us, right? Surely they're not going to let something happen to esteemed guests from the Lion Clan.
You're right.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You're not wrong.
What say
Gonna
you?
forge on ahead.
What say you, Kodo-san? Are you afraid? She kind of like says that last part jokingly.
No, I'm all for pushing forward.
Well, I'm glad we're all so dutiful. Let's go on then.
Oh.
All right. It takes you another... You camp for the night, and then the next day, early on, perhaps around noon, you finally arrive at Kyuden Toketsu. It's nestled in a small valley, and there's a village that you can kind of see over the ridge of the hills. You think it's probably about a half-mile away. Something you notice about the grounds is that they're very neat. They're very pristine. There is... It looks like it can... The state probably looks like it can house about 50 to 100 people, and there's a small outbuilding separate from the others, and it appears to be what you would think is this governor's residence, and he goes by the name of Yasuki Kyume. Or Nori, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yatsuki Nori, you said?
Yeah, as you arrive to the gates, you are met by Yasuki Kyume. He is a well-kept man, probably in his mid-20s. He has a strong jaw and is well-dressed. He has a focused gaze, and he keeps his hair wrapped up in a top knot, but the top of his head is not shaved. And he bows and greets everyone. Hello, Lion Samas. Welcome to Kyuden Toketsu. My name is Yasuki Kyume, and I'm here to greet you on behalf of the Honorable Governor Yasuki Nori.
Greetings, Yatsuki-san.
Greetings, Yatsuki-san.
This one is Matsui Eiji. May I introduce you also to Matsu Naotoko, Akodo Kizuki, and Akodo Inhime-sans.
Hiya.
It is my honor to meet all of you. Please, has Inari blessed you all today? May I offer you some sake, water, a rest or a bath, anything that you require?
All the above?
Excellent, then please come this way. All right, he leads you into the gates of the small settlement, and into the estate. The entry hall is filled with what appear to be elaborate and eclectic gifts of sorts that Nori may have received over the years. Everyone can roll an awareness etiquette roll.
Making that robe.
empathy if you have it.
Awesome.
All right. EAG got a 15.
Okay.
Hey, Inahime got 18.
You forgot the roll?
Yep. Hmm. Six. Ugh. Wow.
You are pretty impressed with this this small remote castle all the way out in the northwestern Crablands, Kizaki.
It does sound nice to me.
Yeah, but for Inahime and Yeji, you both notice that the gifts and kind of the way they're laid out in his greeting room is presented in a very feminine manner, has feminine touches to it. So you think that maybe he has a wife who manages the estate and does this, or he favors these kind of rearrangements, I suppose. One of the two.
This is the governor's estate, right?
Yes. He has things like poems, pieces of art, tables, finery, things like that. All in the greeting room. As a Yasuki, that's probably not very weird, as they like to show off their wealth.
I was going to say things that are more crane-like than crab-like, but then again, he is a Yasuki, so...
Indeed
So,
he is.
next question is, we're still with the guide, right?
Yes, you are. He's leading you in. You said something about a bath, so he says, Lion Samas, the bath is straight down this hall. Take a right, and you'll find hot springs from our mountains that you can rest in and wash the dirt from the road. If you need water or sake, please ask a servant. They can bring it to you. Or if there's anything else you need, they would be happy to provide it. Or if you need to speak with me directly, then simply have me summoned.
Quick question for you, Yasuki-san.
Yes.
Is the governor married at all?
He kind of frowns slightly, betraying his own a little bit, and bows to Inahime and says, Nori-sama has been widowed for a very long time, but yeah, it's most unfortunate his wife's passing. He took it hard for many years, but he now has found joy in the entertainment of another. Perhaps you'll meet her later tonight.
Okay.
We look forward to it.
Of course. And again, Samurai Sama, or Lion Samas, if you need anything, please do not hesitate to ask a servant, and we will see that Kyuden Toketsu offers you all the hospitality the crab can muster. He bows ostentatiously and walks off down the hall. And but one thing before he leaves, actually, he says, Nori-sama would like to meet you tonight at dinner that he is going to host, so see that you do not stuff yourselves before then. He kind of smiles wryly and then walks off.
Absolutely, Yasuki-san.
I make no promises.
All right, you guys are free for a few hours, so what is it that you would like to do?
First off, what exactly was within this guest room that we're just staying in for the moment, this greeted room?
It's got futon, a chest for your clothing and goods, dasho stand if you need them. You each all have a room to yourselves as well. So the basic furnishings.
Okay, so basic stuff. Like, how much rain do we have to go around? Are we just kind of free to head around in any of the rooms here, or is it more kind of expected?
Yeah, there's no one really trying to stop you. I mean, if you walk out, servants will bow to you and all that good stuff, but no one... There doesn't seem to really be many G-samurai around.
Okay.
Who stop you from going places.
Okay, so it's mostly just peasants right now. Got it. Or servants.
Yep.
Well, then, Inahime will go right for the bath.
All right. What about Kizaki and EAG?
I have no plans at the moment other than to take a bath at some point as well.
I was going to say, mostly get the traveling I don't know the term. Pretty much to clean ourselves up after traveling for days on the road, so that way we are presentable to the local lord.
Of course. Now Toko wanders off to find a place to stable her lines, which get an odd look from Kyumei at the beginning, but he seems a little bit less worried when she commands them to sit and they stay outside the castle.
Alrighty. After that, I think just eating him, he's gonna ask for some drink, a little bit of food. She'll try to keep at least mostly to it, and then I think she's gonna wander the grounds and just see if anything catches her eyes.
Okay. Yeah, they bring you like rice and miso, a light lunch, any sake that you require. Not like friendly travel or anything, but if you like shochu as well, they have that.
She'll just take to the sake.
Yep. You wander around, you do notice if you wander towards the estate, there is a man dressed outside standing guard, and he has no clan colors or visible mon. So you immediately assume he's probably a Ronin. And if you have intelligence law, you may roll it. Or raw intelligence if you'd like.
I'll take that raw intelligence.
Okay.
A 23.
Nice. Okay, you've actually heard of this guy. His name is Goshiro. He is indeed a Ronin. What you know is 5 years ago, Goshiro and 8 other Ronin were hired by a Crane noble to infiltrate a village rumored to be hiding bandits. They were to capture any bandits if possible and return them to Kyuden Doji to stand trial. When Goshiro and his men reached the village, they killed every bandit and burned the village to the ground. The Doji sought to have Goshiro in prison for his transgressions, but nothing came of it. Since then, he has made a name for himself as a man who gets things done.
Huh. I will note this and then continue on.
All right. He looks at you and bows properly as you walk by, but otherwise says nothing. Anyone else want to do anything? They have if you want to pray to anyone, they have a shrine.
Yeah, probably as soon as we arrive, I'm going to go ahead and find my way to the shrines, at least to give thanks to no other than the fortune of good travel, making sure that our steps have been safe, at least most of the way. I don't know if we ran into anybody along the way, but I'm assuming we didn't, that we made it here safely, just pretty much giving up my offerings of thanks to the fortunes.
Okay. As you pray, or as you finish your prayers, you look up and you do notice the stern, folded arms of your ancestor behind you as you stand up and turn around.
Did I offer them correctly? Yes. Kind of shifty-eyed around.
He doesn't
never
say.
Knowing,
Yeah, he doesn't say anything for the moment. As you start to leave the shrine, however, he finally speaks up, and there are like a few monks and peasants in the shrine, maybe like 2 or 3, but they don't seem to notice, obviously, and you know when he does talk to you, other people can't hear them, unless they're other Kitsu. He basically says, what are you doing, Ieji-san? You've already turned your gaze from these other troublemakers in a new town. They could offend the lion. Do you know what this could mean for my clan? If they were to do something to offend this Yasuki.
Yes, honored ancestor, but I would rather not risk the wrath of our ancestors. I need to offer my thanks before I keep an eye on them, or else I would never get the chance. In fact, that's where I'm headed right now. I know I need to track them down, and I will track them down, and I'll keep an eye on them. Everything will be fine.
You would best watch that Akodo. He doesn't say which one, and then kind of like fades off.
Yes, ancestor-san. Kind of say under my breath.
Okay. Or you like found Naotoko fairly easily. She's outside petting one of her cats. She has not cleaned herself from the dirt or any of the travels. You know her to be one who is not for etiquette, so she doesn't seem like she's overly concerned, and dinner's fastly approaching.
San, wave her over as I head over. Or, sorry, Matsu-san, not Dakota.
Yeah.
She's the mom.
Afternoon, Matsu-san. Did you find Harmony in the shrine? She kind of smiles wryly again. As you know her not be very pious. And you probably often gotten arguments with her about these things.
One of these days, I think you should give it a try. You never know what you'd find in those shrines. The ancestors can be quite the guides if you'd only give them the chance.
Well, the ancestors are fine. It's more the monks that kind of I don't agree with. You know what happened last time, remember? That monk had a black eye for at least 2 weeks.
Yeah, but, I mean, you didn't have to punch him. I mean, I understand. I get it. I wanted to as well, but decorum, well, never mind. We can discuss that another time. Have you seen our squad mates? Had you seen them? I'm hoping they're off cleaning themselves for the upcoming dinner tonight.
You kind of see like
you should get to as well.
You see like something flash in her eye. She kind of turns slightly red when you mention the cleaning yourself. You think for a moment that perhaps she forgot to do that, and she says, "I believe I saw Inahime stalking the grounds earlier, exploring as she normally does. If you head," she like points in a direction, you'll probably find her. Please excuse me, I must take care of some things before dinner." She bows and walks off.
Arigato. And I'm going to go ahead and head off in the direction that she points.
All right. Unless Inahime is trying not to be found, you probably find her.
Yeah, no, she's not trying to be found. She's probably in the middle of trying to figure out if there's anything worth pilfering.
Well, it is a Yasuki estate, so there's plenty worth pilfering. You saw all the art. You saw all the art and all the poetry earlier.
Probably in the middle of picking up a piece of poetry and tucking it into her kimono.
Okay, roll sleight of hand, agility.
Okay.
I have no idea what this means, but I'm sure it's a great poem.
Pretty much.
It's something about the rolling hills that accompany the castle, and it's on fairly new, pristine paper. No one seems to notice you, though, as you slide it into the folds of your kimono.
I got it.
And you lose 4 ranks of honor.
4 ranks?
Or not 4 4 pips. Sorry.
I don't have 4 ranks to give.
That poem, by the way, happened to be the Black Scroll of...
Yeah, I know, right?
So you find you stuff it in your robe literally moments, maybe 10 seconds before you hear Yaechi coming from behind you.
Inahime, that's where you are, he says.
She jumps to the kind of like a start and then turns around very quickly and plays it off. Oh, hello, Matsu-san.
Have you tended to yourself for tonight? He says, kind of with an approving eye, or not approving, appraising eye.
Yes. I immediately went and got myself cleaned up. Had a nice little lunch. The sake was fine. And then I've been just taking a nice little walk around the area. Have you seen some of the stuff they have?
Yes. It's very, very nice. Like, it's kind of interesting to find this out here in Crablands, wouldn't you say? Much more than you'd normally expect.
I thought it would fall more like their cousins, a little bit more Spartan, kind of like home, but crabbish.
Yes, indeed. There's some pretty interesting things here, I'd say.
Yeah. They also apparently have some Ronin, I guess, standing guard at the governor's estate.
Oh?
Yeah. He's apparently by the name of, what was it, Goshiro? Goshiro. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but apparently he's a pretty well-known Ronin, at least around these parts. I'm not sure why he's here, but he must have had some job because that's what he's well known for. get stuff done.
All right, both of you can roll a perception investigation again. Notice, same thing.
Got it.
That's right. Okay. EAG got a 30.
All right.
34.
Okay, you hear some stomping coming through the halls of the estate. It doesn't seem it's very slow, very Spartan sounding. Someone not trying to make themselves be hidden. Yeah, he may for a brief moment you get kind of a tense feeling of fear. You think it may be ghosts, but eventually a very large, muscled man in the colors of the Crab Clan with the Mona the Hida on his clothing steps into the room. He looks at
immediately remembers to take a breath.
Yeah. He looks to both of you. You can both roll a courtier awareness roll.
Okey-dokey.
Or etiquette, I'm sorry. Etiquette with empathy.
Got it.
18. Just shy of exploding. A double 9.
26.
Okay. Inahime, you notice that he looks at Ieji, he looks at you, and then he smiles slightly and bows. Betraying his own, he says, Lion Samas, what brings you to these parts? He kind of like looks at Inahime as if you are someone that he might have seen before. But you don't seem to recognize him, really.
Inahime just kind of slowly sidesteps behind Ieji, and kind of lets him, kind of like, gives a nudging sense that he should be the one to talk.
Well, aside, Osuli, for a task. We're not 100% sure on what all it is, correct?
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to be doing yet. Just that your daimyo asked you to do this so he could get a favor from the Yasuki.
Okay, so what I'm going to relay essentially is, greetings, Hida-san. I hope Inari has blessed you today.
Inari always blesses me. I hope he is you as well. He kind of pats his stomach.
Join in his jovial manner and just kind of chuckle. Yes, I agree. We are actually here on behalf of our Lord, and I'm going to offer our Lord's name. Mm-hmm. We are here for service to your Lord.
Oh, I see. What is it that you're going to be doing for him exactly? We do not have any threats of attacking armies coming from the east. The unicorn wouldn't dare. He folds his arms across his chest.
Oh, no. We would not at all suggest that that's the case. In fact, we're supposed to be meeting with him here shortly, within the hour, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, within the hour we should be meeting with him. We ourselves are not 100% sure, but he does have had use for the Lion Clan, and the moment he set for word, we came running as soon as we as quickly as we could.
He kind of pats you on the back a little bit, a minor breach of etiquette. He's like, to be honest with you, Matsu-sama.
Take 2 steps forward as he hits.
To be honest with you, Matsu-sama, I do not know why I'm here either. Nori's not my direct lord. I was sent here on the orders of Hida Yakumo-san, or Sama.
Oh, my deepest apologies. I apologize for assuming. We did not mean any insult in this case.
Oh, no, none was taken, of course. We'll probably be working together. His smile broadens a little bit when he says that.
that mean you're going to be at the dinner later tonight?
Of course I will.
Oh, okay.
It's like, I would not miss it for the world. He says somewhat awkwardly, he bows and he says, and I will leave you to your preparations. Until then, Samurai Summons. And he walks off.
Until then, gonna call behind him.
Bye.
Literally a few moments later, you all start hearing the sound of biwa begin to play throughout the estate. Even Kizaki, wherever he is, can hear it. It kind of rings out throughout the whole grounds.
That's not ominous.
You mean by ominous? And as Inahime suggests that EAG, like, who had first had heard it and was like just thinking, oh, this is beautiful music, like, kind of his mind starts thinking, like, what is she thinking?
I mean, just bio music, middle playing. We can hear it. Where is it coming from?
You probably think it's coming down from one of the halls. Maybe there's a another room where
it might be coming from down. It might be coming from one of the halls down here where the music seems to be coming from.
Okay, well, do we want to go investigate this, or do we just want to head back to the rest of the group?
I mean, it's pretty bio music. I'm assuming it's pretty bio music. It's pretty bio music.
It's played by a very skilled hand.
Let's go take a look. Why don't we go take a look?
I agree. You first.
You hear it too, Kizaki. Do you want to go check out the music or do whatever you're doing?
I'm content to remain where I am.
Okay. You also notice that now Toko is not there. But you follow the trail towards the music and you see there's a geisha playing a biwa in the main audience chamber where it looks like he probably meets his guests. You assume this is probably where dinner will be set up within the hour. Suko is an attractive young woman with slight features and a calm and introspective shyness that Samurai may find endearing. She keeps playing her song, and then she eventually stops and bows when she finishes.
Going to offer a bow in return. Excuse us, what would be the general address to a geisha from a samurai?
Geisha-san, probably.
Geisha-san? Okay. Apologies, Geisha-san. We did not mean to randomly intrude, but we just heard the music and it just sounded so delightful that we had to come take a look.
Your words are much too kind for one such as I, Lion-sama. This one is called Suko. She bows again, with her biwa still in her lap.
Going to bow in return, and in all honesty, the praise is much earned. That was very skillful playing. Where did you learn your skills at the biwa?
My mother taught me. She was a matron at a geisha house to the south of here, and since I have traveled. Since I met Lord Nori, I've traveled up here, and this is now where I make my home. So,
well, if your mother was your teacher, then she must have been quite the master for the student to be so, well, masterful.
She just bows again. Her face is a bit red when she rises. She's like, perhaps another song, Lion Samus?
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah, she plays another song. After it's also very excellent. After she finishes, she politely excuses herself as servants start to come in and set up dinner.
I'm going to turn over to Inahime. Perhaps we should make sure that the rest of our group has tended to their things that they need to tend to before the dinner tonight.
See real fast before I reply. What was the name of the geisha?
Her name is Suko, Suko.
Got it. And who was the crab we just met?
Samasu, Samasu. of the Hida family.
Got it. Okay. Inihime will pull her eyes from kind of like seeing the food come in and whatnot, and eventually look back over to you, AG. Yeah. Let's go check them out, I guess. Do you know where they are? I'm gonna take that as a no.
No.
You know where Naotoko's lions are.
I was gonna say, like, I'm sure that they're like when I spoke with Naotoko, she was gonna tend to things. Kazuki seemed to be he was prepping to tend to things, so I'm assuming that they should be somewhere around the state, within the quarters at which we've been introduced. So I don't expect them to be too terribly far.
Well, how about this then?
This is where I reveal I've ran, right? From run away.
Well, how about this?
Deuces.
I'll go find Naotoko-san, and you go find Kizaki-san.
Should we not just find them together? I mean, we're trying to connect together anyway.
You think you feel the hot burn of your ancestors' gaze in the back of your head, Edgy?
Well,
that's the whole don't let her out of your sight gaze.
Well, I meant more it would just be easier since we're all gonna come back here. So you go find Kizaki, I go find Naotoko, and then we just all come back here.
I mean, they're all pretty much in the same place anyway. I mean, again, Naotoko was going towards the baths, and when I left Kazuki, he himself was also in the same area. So I imagine that we'd be going the same direction anyway. So come on. And he just kind of takes the lead and expects her to fall into step behind him.
Okay. She'll follow after with.
All right. Who are you looking for first?
Whoever we hit first, I guess, since we both know we're kind of going the baths. I guess whatever bath, like, either we hit the female baths first or the male baths first, and then we'll just check there.
Okay.
Yeah, just kind of heading back to the area that we were initially brought to.
You find Naotoko at the baths. She is still inside half an hour before dinner, enjoying the hot feeling of the warm, soothing feeling of the hot springs that Lion Lands just don't offer.
Naotoko-san?
Oh, Akoto-sama. She like
dinner's
rises.
Dinner's gonna be served in about like 30-ish minutes here. Did you want to just kind of finish up and join us over there?
That soon? How long have I been in here?
I don't know.
She like rushes out of the bath. You think almost in like a Matsu charge for a moment. Is how quickly she springs out of the bath. She grabs a towel, whips it around herself in a matter of moments, gets her kimono, which is right beside where you entered, and like kind of shoulders past you a little bit, and goes off to her quarters.
Inihime throws herself against the wall to avoid being run over.
As she bursts out of the front of the bath, I'm assuming that's going to be the same case for AEG because he did not follow them in there.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, oh, excuse me, Matsu-san. Like, rubs by you.
She's gonna go get dressed.
Yep.
I'm hoping so.
So that leaves just Kizaki-san, and then we can go get some nice food.
Yeah. I guess we're gonna head
follow
back.
You in there.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go into the baths at this point because that's where we're checking.
At this point, Kizaki would not be in the bath.
Gonna come back out. It's kind of empty in there, I guess. Why don't we head back to our quarters? I'm gonna head back in the direction at which we were offered.
Sure thing.
That is where you will find Kizaki.
What's he doing?
He would have preferred. He'd love to roam outside the grounds, but best not to do that before meeting the Lord. Don't want to get lost and all. So he probably would have just gone back to his room and meditated or something to pass the time.
Okay. Well, you find him in his quarters then.
Kizuki-san, are you ready for tonight?
Ready as I'm gonna be.
Good, good. It looks like we got probably about another half hour or so, maybe a little less, before time for us to meet the Lord. So why don't we all go ahead and get together and get ourselves ready to head on off over in that direction? I mean, it would not do to be late to our meeting with the Lord.
Whatever you say.
Yes.
All right, so we all gather up and go to dinner.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,